And it's the 4th of July. Thanks for joining us for our huge 8-game day. I'm joined by LemonNation and Sneaky, Cloud9. You guys picking up another win. And I got to say, going into this game, you guys must have felt comfortable. Lemon, you guys were given Elise, Jace, and Zach right off the bat. What were you guys thinking?
We're really happy to get Jace. I mean, every loss we've had has been versus Jace. He's just so OP now. So it felt pretty good to have him.
So was it actually going into Champion Select that was something you would have let go by or something you had to get?
That was our top priority,
yeah.
Jace.
As blue side, if Jace is up, you pick it.
All right, so grabbing Jace, you guys didn't seem to put too much, not respect, but too much worry into a Twisted Fate pick. You just kind of left that up for Dignitas. Was that in the books or you weren't really worried about it?
I think it was okay that we let him have it. It was kind of in our plan. The global pressure was really annoying to deal with, but ended up being okay.
So coming into a game against Dignitas, Lemon, what do you guys, have in the forefront of your mind?
Their newest comp, the Master Yi Ashe comp. It's been destroying us in scrims, so had to ban it out.
You guys, you actually put a ton of respect to that with that ban. Seeing it actually falter the second time at MLG, that kind of doesn't think you would be able to put it on the back burner?
I think if they had Ashe in the second game rather than the Varus, they would have won that game.
So this game, again, not one of the fastest for velocity. So after that 30-minute mark of velocity for Cloud9, obviously, you guys, what is it for you guys? Do you have to change up anything, or can you still go with the aggressive strategy after the 30-minute? Usually you guys, your average, I think, right now is like 28 minutes.
It really just depends on how the game flows. If we get a big lead, we usually end it strong and just 28 minutes, like you said. But if we ended up like dying all over the place and getting picked off, it just delays the whole game and ending it.
So with the only 2 losses that you guys have, what did you learn most about those, if those are the matches you've gone back to, review and see what happened?
Well, versus Vulcan, a lot of our loss was early game. We just died all over the place and couldn't really recover from that. And then CLG was kind of the same. We had a really bad level 1, and that just screwed us over really hard.
So what does practice become for those? Obviously, it's kind of easy to just make level 1 not happen and play it safe. But do you guys focus on making sure that will never happen and stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of our scrims have actually been like less than 5 minutes, just like practicing level 1s basically.
That's different. A lot of teams you'll see kind of wanting to get to the late game to practice. What is it so important about the early game for you guys that you want to take a hold of?
We've had a lot of issues with our early game, like mainly our level 1s and things like that. So we've been improving that as much as we can.
What is that for you? Is that map control? Is that getting the picks you want in a certain lane or swapping? How have you guys kind of figured out that formula works?
It's mainly just like, before they kind of knew where we'd go at level 1 with our wards because we were kind of predictable. And so we just got to like mix that up, get some more strats out.
And what's it like, obviously, when you guys get to that 30-minute mark, when you're figuring out the team can outscale you? What's the adapting like for Cloud9? How do you guys focus change? Do you ever go from, kills to objectives or vice versa?
It's almost always objectives, but past 30-minute mark, if we know we get outscaled, we try and just force things as much as we can.
All right, guys, and final question. You guys are coming off to face Curse later today as we got a lot of matches going on. How are you feeling about that, and what's on your mind?
I think they're going to run some globals versus us again, but I think we'll do good versus them.
Sneaky, anything?
I think we'll do well, especially after their loss again. Might throw them on tilt or something.
That's true.
All right, guys, thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations again on the win, keeping at the top of that list. You guys are doing very well for Cloud9 and more boiling crab, I guess, in the future, right? All right, guys, thank you very much. We have a lot more action to go. Today is July 4th, and there are some explosive games that have already happened and some really interesting interactions at Baron. And Jat's going to break those down for us right now.
Thank you very much, Riv. And this was probably the turning point in this game. Remember back to the first game we had today when Vulcan hid inside the Baron pit after taking Baron multiple times. Dignitas tries to pull the same trick on Cloud9 because they saw them very well with that pink ward. Dignitas is waiting. They think they're really clever here, trying to wait around the corner, thinking everyone on Cloud9 is going to funnel and walk in towards the Baron pit. But Meteos, as the leader right here, decides to just jump in blind and just start things because he has the confidence in himself on Zach and in the backup of Lulu that he would be able to survive this. So let's actually roll the clip right here to see them go in. Dignitas is waiting. Meteos jumps in. He also gets the Lulu ult. Let's actually pause it here. The Shock Blast is the exact same color that I'm using, by the way. Isn't able to do much right here. But keep in mind, as we watch this clip later, how Meteos zones out all the spells from Dignitas and how Dignitas blows everything on Meteos because he's such a large presence in this fight. In order for Dignitas to win against the clump, they need to get their area of effect damages in. That would mean Patoy's Crescendo would have to cut across, while I'm a Cutie Pie's Graves ult would have to cut across with it, and Crumb's Xin Zhao ult would have to cut in at some point as well. But because of the distraction that Meteos creates, if we roll this in half speed, we'll see how it doesn't work. Cutie Pie blows his ult through Meteos. Crumbs ults around LemonNation. Patoy lands the perfect crescendo. If we pause it right here, you can see he has 3. And if Dignitas had lined up their spells and I'm a Cutie Pie hadn't gotten pushed so far back by Zach, it would have cut through almost all of Cloud9's health and they would have been done. But because Dignitas didn't get their spells off on the core of Cloud9's team, Cloud9 was able to roll through this fight. Let's just roll it in full speed to see how one-sided it was after the initial plays. Meteos went down, but he had his passive, so it was all okay. And Cloud9 just charges, because remember, Dignitas already used everything in that fight. Balls gets the stun onto Kiwi Kid. They're able to close in. This was a large amount of kills and a Baron for Cloud9 and a very clear turning point in this game. So Cloud9 does not hesitate, and that's one of the things that makes them the #1 team in the North American